Hi, hello, and welcome to my channel. We have a big old pile of books to unbox, and there's nothing better than opening packages, especially when those packages are full of books. The first package that we have to open is from Amazon, and this is actually my very first ever book pre-order, which is very exciting. This is The Love Wager by Lynn Painter, and I'm so excited to get my hands on another Lynn Painter book. I read Better Than the Movies last year, and not only was the story really cute, but just the feels that I got while reading that book was just so good. Chef's kiss. Freaking loved it. I'm actually planning on doing a Lynn Painter kind of like readathon type of video because I did like that other one so much. So I actually have all the information about her releases written down. Better Than the Movies was actually released May of 2021, and then last year she pumped out 3 other books. We have Mr. Wrong Number, which was released in March of 2022, which I did also order as well, but I got it from Book Depository, and so it hasn't come in yet. So this one is also kind of part of the haul. And then she also came out with Accidentally Amy, and this one actually sounds like a really cute idea. Basically, I think it's about like a girl that's at a coffee shop and she takes the wrong coffee or something like that, and so this guy thinks that her name is Amy. I don't remember exactly how it went, but it sounds like a really cute story. But I really dislike the cover of this book, and it doesn't match any of the other covers that she's come out with. Like, all the rest of them kind of have this same kind of like cartoony theme, and Accidentally Amy is also cartoony, but like in a different way. So I'm kind of hoping that they change the cover for that book, and then I'll get it. And if they don't, then I'll get it eventually, I guess. And then the last one that she came out with last year was The Do-Over, and that one also sounds really good. It has kind of like a Groundhog's Day type of theme where it's basically about a girl who like wakes up and it's Valentine's Day and she catches her boyfriend cheating and she has to keep like reliving it. But it only currently is out in hardcover, and my other Lynn Painter book that I have and this one is in paperback. So I'm just kind of waiting for that one to be released in paperback before I get it, which I do believe should be at the end of this year. Which also, by the way, she is releasing another book at the end of this year as well. So hopefully that one comes out in paperback, so I don't have to like wait extra long for it. Anyway, a lot of Lynn Painter information. Next up we have our Book of the Month books, which I did actually get 2 this month because there was a good selection. I've actually skipped quite a few months recently, which, by the way, I'm a very small channel, so obviously I am not sponsored by Book of the Month, but I do have like their just regular referral code, and I do believe if you use my code, which I always leave in the description, you will get your first book for $5 and I get a free like book credit. So anyway, like I said, I did get 2 books this month. The first book that we have is The London Seance Society. And both of the books that I got basically kind of have like witchy magic kind of themes, which I love. It says, 1873, at an abandoned chateau on the outskirts of Paris, a dark seance is about to take place, led by acclaimed spiritualist, known worldwide for her talent in conjuring the spirits of murder victims to ascertain the identities of the people who killed them. She is highly sought after by widows and investigators alike. I ordered these at the beginning of the month, and it's now the end of the month, so I totally forgot what these were about. I just remembered that they involved magic, and obviously this one involves a seance, but also apparently some sort of like murder mystery type of deal. So this sounds actually really interesting. Obviously I thought it sounded interesting, otherwise I wouldn't have ordered it. But there's that one. And then this other book that I have is called Wayward by Amelia Hart. I love the like naturey theme of this cover. Let's jog our memory and find out what this book is about. 2019, under cover of darkness, Kate flees London for a ramshackled wayward cottage inherited from a great aunt she barely remembers. With its tumbling ivy and overgrown garden, the cottage is worlds away from the abusive partner who tormented Kate, but she soon suspects that her great aunt had a secret, one that lurks in the bones of the cottage, hidden ever since the witch hunts of the 17th century. And then the next little blurb is in 1619, and then there's another one in 1942. So if I remember correctly, this is about kind of like 3 generations of a witch family, which sounds super interesting, and I'm very excited to read this one as well. All right, here's our receipt, bunch of paper, and here's our books. I uploaded a video recently, I think a couple of weeks ago now, where I kind of went to Barnes & Noble and window shopped for book cover books for a separate video, and I asked you guys to vote on like a list of books that I put together, and I basically picked 1 book from each category depending on what the vote said, and these are 2 of those books, which I'm so excited for. The third one is in the next package. Again, I'm a really small channel, so I wasn't really sure that anyone was gonna vote, and there wasn't like a whole lot, but every vote that I got in, I was just so excited about. Literally, if you voted, thank you so much. that was so fun for me. But the first one that we have is called Memorial from Brian Washington. For this category, there's actually 2 books that were tied, and I decided to pick this one basically just because the other 2 books that were chosen both had kind of a little bit of orange involved in the cover, so the 3 of them together looked really nice. So that's why this one won. But also too, this one I've had on my list for a very long time. I saw this at the bookstore last year, and every time I see it, I gravitate toward it. I love like a humorous type of cover, and this one basically has like a person that looks kind of like a sushi, and I just think that's great. So there's that one. And then this cover is so freaking pretty. I think this is like the prettiest cover that I have. The majority of my other covers that are my favorite, again, kind of have that like humorous, just kind of bizarre type of cover. This one is just pretty. This is Sirens and Muses by Antonia Angris. Very excited about this. I will definitely be kind of like displaying this on my bookshelves because, again, so freaking pretty. And then last but not least, we have a big old box from Amazon. I really need to sharpen this knife because she's having too hard of a time cutting through freaking tape. The first book in this box is our third and last book for the book cover video. And this is called Bad Fruit by Ella King. And again, this kind of has like that kind of like just bizarre, simplistic kind of cover design. I'm really interested in finding out what all of these books are about, but mostly this one just because the cover is giving absolutely nothing. It's just weird and bizarre, and I'm very intrigued. So that one might be the first one that I read in that video. And then the very last thing that we have is actually a set of books. So last month I ended up reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, and I freaking loved that book. That was literally only the second book that I've ever read that I've given 6 stars to. So very similarly to the whole Lynn Painter thing, I read Addie LaRue, was obsessed with it, and wanted to read more from V.E. Schwab. So I ended up getting the Shadow of Magic series. And this was really inexpensive actually on Amazon. I think this was only like 25 bucks or something for 3 freaking books. So yeah, I got them. And this morning actually, I saw somewhere about a potential 4th book coming out at the end, like October of this year. But let's take a little bit of a closer look at this series. What is this? Is there a poster? Oh, this is kind of cool. It says A Map of Londons. So I'm assuming that means that there's several different Londons or something like that. I'm not really one to like hang a poster, but that's kind of cool that it came with that, especially again because it was so inexpensive. The first book in the series is called A Darker Shade of Magic. Prepare to be dazzled by a world of parallel Londons where magic thrives, starves, or lies forgotten, and where power can destroy just as quickly as it can create. So yeah, so it is like different versions of London, which is kind of cool. Welcome to Grey London, dirty and boring without any magic and with one mad king, George III. Then there is Red London, where life and magic are revered, and White London, a city slowly being drained through magical war down to its very bones. And once upon a time, there was Black London, but no one speaks of that now. So that sounds cool. And then we have the second book, which is A Gathering of Shadows. And then the third one is A Conjuring of Light. Here's what the covers look like. They're super simple, but I really like the simplicity of them actually. And with that, that is all of the books that I have for this haul. It wasn't like the biggest haul that I've done. Definitely not as big as my last one, but we still got a good amount of books. We got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9, the one that hasn't come yet. If you're interested in any of the books that I purchased, I will leave links to all of them down below. And yeah, I think that's all that I have to say. I hope you have / have had the most amazing of days, and I will hopefully see you guys in the next one. Bye!